Today is Tuesday, August 4th. Welcome to Big Book Daily. My name is Rob. I am an alcoholic. It is a thrill, honor, and joy to be here with you today as we journey through the Big Book of Alcoholics Anonymous and the 12 Steps and 12 Traditions. Today out of the Big Book, we are on There's a Solution. We'll be reading page 24. Out of the 12 and 12, we're on Step 4. We'll read page 46. And of course, we'll read NA's Just for Today and Al-Anon's Courage to Change. So with that, hope y'all are doing well this beautiful Tuesday morning, my friends. Life is good over here. Just woke up sober today, and it's just what a blessing that is, just to start the day off that way. And then kind of get in the garage, pray. I got my fur babies with me. Life is good. So let's go ahead and get to the good stuff. Alright, my friends, so if you recall from yesterday's reading out of There's a Solution, we talked about the mental obsession that the problem centers in our mind oftentimes, that talks us into the first drink, and then once we have the first drink in us, that triggers the allergy. So we're going to get some squiggly writing here, so we know that's important, right? So we're on page 24, we'll get right to it. The fact is that most alcoholics, for reasons yet obscure, have lost the power of choice in drink. Our so-called willpower becomes practically non-existent. We are unable at certain times to bring into our consciousness with sufficient force the memory of the suffering and humiliation of even a week or a month ago. We are without a defense against the first drink. The almost certain consequences that follow taking even a glass of beer do not crowd into the mind to deter us. If these thoughts occur, they are hazy and readily supplanted with the old threadbare idea that this time we shall be able to handle ourselves like other people. There is a complete failure of the kind of defense that keeps one from putting his hand on a hot stove. The alcoholic may say to himself in the most casual way, "It won't burn me this time, so here's how." Or perhaps he doesn't think at all. How often have some of us began to drink in this nonchalant way, and after the third or fourth, pounded on the bar and said to ourselves, "For God's sake, how did I ever get started again?" Only to have that thought supplanted by, "Well, I'll stop with the sixth drink," or "What's the use anyhow?" When this sort of thinking is fully established in an individual with alcoholic tendencies, he has probably placed himself beyond human aid, may die or go permanently insane. These stark and ugly facts have been confirmed by legions of alcoholics throughout history. But for the grace of God, there would have been thousands more convincing demonstrations. So many want to stop but cannot. There is a solution. And we will find out about that solution tomorrow. Out of the 12 and 12, we're on Step 4. Made a searching and fearless moral inventory of ourselves. And yesterday we talked about a couple of factors that are excuses that might come into the way of doing an inventory in the first place. On page 45, we talked about the person who is so self-loathing they don't want to dig it all up. And we talked about the one who feels that the only problem that they have is the drinking, and they have no need for a moral inventory. And then we talked about the one who blames everybody else. So we're on page 46. At this stage of the inventory proceedings, our sponsors usually come to the rescue. They can do this, for they are the carriers of AA's tested experience with Step 4. They comfort the melancholy one by first showing him that his case is not different or strange, that his character defects are probably not more numerous or worse than those of anyone else in AA. This the sponsor promptly proves by talking freely and easily, without exhibitionism, about his own defects, past and present. This calm yet realistic stock-taking is immensely reassuring. The sponsor probably points out that the newcomer has some assets which can be noted along with his liabilities. This tends to clear away the morbidity and encourage balance. As soon as it begins to be more objective, the newcomer can fearlessly, rather than fearfully, look at his own defects. The sponsors of those who feel that they need no inventory are confronted with quite another problem. This is because people who are driven by pride of self unconsciously blind themselves to their liabilities. These newcomers scarcely need comforting. The problem is to help them discover a chink in the walls of their ego is built, through which light of reason can shine. First off, they can be told that the majority of AA members have suffered severely from self-justification during their drinking days. For most of us, self-justification was the maker of excuses. Excuses, of course, for drinking, for all kinds of crazy and damaging conduct. We made the invention of alibis a fine art. We had to drink because times were hard or times were good. We had to drink because at home we were smothered with love or got none at all. We had to drink because at work we were great successes or dismal failures. We had to drink because our nation had won a war or lost a peace. And so it went ad infinitum. NA just for today, August 4th. When a secret is not a secret. Addicts tend to live secret lives. It is a great relief to get rid of all of our secrets and to share the burden of our past. Basic text, page 33. We've heard it said that we're as sick as our secrets. What do we keep secret and why? We keep secret those things that cause us shame. We may hold on to such things because we don't want to surrender them. Yet if they're causing us shame, wouldn't we live more easily with ourselves if we were rid of them? Some of us hold on to things that cause us shame for another reason. It's not because we don't want to be rid of them. We just don't believe we can be rid of them. They've plagued us for so long, and we've tried so many times to rid ourselves of them that we've stopped hoping for relief. Yet they still shame us, and we still keep them secret. We need to remember who we are, recovering addicts. We tried so long to keep our drug use a secret and have found freedom from obsession and compulsion to use. Though many of us enjoyed using right to the end, we sought recovery anyway. We just couldn't stand the toll that our using was taking on us. When we admitted our powerlessness and sought help from others, the burden of our secret was lifted from us. The same principle applies to whatever secrets may burden us. Yes, we are as sick as our secrets. Only when our secrets stop being secret can we begin to find relief from those things that cause us shame. Just for today, my secrets can make me sick only as long as they stay secret. Today, I will talk with my sponsor about my secrets. Al-Anon's Courage to Change, August 4th. I can certainly learn from criticism, and I want to remain open to hearing what others have to say. But neither my popularity nor my ability to please those I live and work with are legitimate measures of my worth as an individual. Al-Anon helps me to recognize that I have value simply because I breathe the breath of humanity. As I gain self-esteem, I find it easier to evaluate my behavior more realistically. The support I get in Al-Anon helps me find the courage to learn about myself. As I come to feel at home with myself and my values, my likes and dislikes, my dreams and choices, I am increasingly able to risk other people's disapproval. I am equally able to honor others when they choose to be themselves, whether or not I like what I see. Today's reminder: with the help of a loving sponsor and the support of my fellow Al-Anon members, I'm learning to find my place in this world. A place where I can live with dignity and self-respect. Quote from Walt Whitman: "I exist as I am, That is enough. If no other in the world be aware, I sit content. And if each and all be aware, I sit content. All right, my friends, that concludes today's reading. It's some beautiful stuff today. I love the NA reading and the Courage to Change. But real quick, going back to the 12 and 12, I love how they give very, very practical ways to work with the ones who had the excuses of why they didn't want to do the inventory. For the one who feels so ashamed, let them know that, hey, they're human, that their grosser handicaps are no different than any other human beings, necessarily. And talk about our own experience, right? And then for the one who has so much pride that they can't see why they need an inventory in the first place, to help them show that they are human, that they're not perfect, there are chinks in the armor. I love that practical way to kind of look at things. And for me, I was definitely guy number one. I had so much shame and guilt and everything. And when I worked with my sponsor, that's exactly what he did. He shared his experience. And he was very forthright about his shortcomings. And that gave me confidence to go, you know what? Okay. All right, I'll say everything. And that kind of leads into the NA reading as well. For me, there are certain things that I wrestled with, and I feared that if I say all of this, the things that are bothering me and disturbing my serenity, that this person will never look at me the same way. And it'll confirm all the deception, all the lies that I've been telling about myself, that there's something wrong with me, and all these things. But I have learned from experience that when I choose the right person, as we've talked about, somebody I trust that has my best interest in mind and is going to keep things confidential, a safe person, right? When I tell them everything, all that fear melts away. Because a lot of times what would happen is they'd say, thank you for telling me that. Thank you for trusting me with that. Here's what I wrestle with. Then they tell me what they wrestle with, and then they might offer a couple of insights about things that I didn't see in my character defects. And we will pray about them together and come up with strategies to make sure that we do the right thing next time. And all that fear melts away. And I don't have to carry it anymore. It's awesome. And then that kind of leads into the Al-Anon reading as well. Al-Anon helps me recognize that I have value simply because I breathe the breath of humanity. As I gain self-esteem, I find it easier to evaluate my behavior more realistically. So the more and more I do these things, the more and more I work the steps, I do gain self-esteem. And I can be content whether people like me or whether people don't like me. Just like the reading says, I love that Walt Whitman quote, I exist as I am. That is enough. If no other in the world be aware, I sit content. And if each and all be aware, I sit content. So today at about 3:55 in the morning, I sit content. Because I'm forgiven. I'm sober today. And if you are sober today, I hope you know that you're a miracle. And if you're not sober today, I hope you know you're a miracle as well. That you have value simply because you breathe the breath of humanity, as it says right here. And I pray that today that you would make the first step toward change. And you don't have to do it alone. We've got your back. But my friends, that's all we have time for today. Please know, as always, I don't speak on behalf of NA, Al-Anon, AA, any other sector denomination. I'm just a joyful drunk in this lifeboat of recovery, honored to be here another day. And for giving another set of 24 hours, I sincerely look forward to seeing you right back here tomorrow.